Good morning, dear students. We are learning methods of separation of mixtures. Today, we will be learning about distillation. Principle of distillation says that distillation is based on the distillation of liquid component in a soluble solid liquid mixture. As the water evaporates, the inorganic chemicals, large non-volatile organic chemicals, or even microorganisms are left behind or killed off in the boiling flask or the tank. Technique of separation of distillation is as follows. The solute solid can be separated from its liquid component by placing the mixture in a distillation flask of the distillation apparatus. On heating, the solid remains behind the distillation flask and the liquid vaporizes and condenses in the condenser. The condensed liquid is then collected in the pure form in a receiver. The condensed liquid collected in the receiver is known as distillate. Example, distillation of seawater to give pure water in the laboratory. The process of converting a liquid into its vapor form and then condensing vapors to obtain pure form in the liquid state is called distillation. This is how we define distillation. Evaporation and condensation go on side by side in distillation. Means two processes are done side by side to complete distillation process. One is evaporation and another is condensation. This method is employed, means distillation method, is employed for the separation of a liquid from non-volatile impurities. This method is also used to separate components of a mixture of two miscible liquids, means those liquids which are mixed with each other with a difference in their boiling points, but they differ in their boiling points, then they can be separated with distillation. This process is also employed to obtain pure substance from a solution. Example, distilled water is used by the doctors, is obtained by distillation. Sea water is distilled to get drinking water. The apparatus used for distilling seawater distillation consists of a distillation flask, a condenser, a receiver. The condenser consists of a long glass tube surrounded by a wider tube through which water can be circulated. Then only the vapor is condensed into liquid form. The condensed liquid is collected in a receiver and it is known as distillate. When distillation of a mixture of two liquids having a large difference in their boiling points is employed or done, the more volatile liquid distills over, leaving behind the less volatile liquid. Means more volatile means having less boiling point. So they evaporate first and the liquid with higher boiling point remains in the flask. On further heating, the second liquid distills over at its boiling point. So when first is collected, then second can further be collected by heating it. Distillation is used to separate liquids from non-volatile solids, as in the separation of alcoholic liquors from fermented materials, or in the separation of two or more liquids having different boiling points, as in the separation of gasoline, kerosene and lubricating oil from crude oil. In the manufacture and purification of nitrogen, oxygen and the rare gases, distillation process is used. Let us see the advantages of distillation. High purity products are obtained due to distillation. Economics of scale, less energy is used, well established technology, use of low temperature, low cost energy, well suited for every integration into the surrounding process. So these are the advantages of distillation. Now let us see disadvantages of distillation. Disadvantages are the energy needs of the unit and cost and the slow output. Distillation is a slow process. Distilled water is the purest form of water. Distilling water removes all the minerals, but we cannot consume distilled water. Why? Sorry. So drinking distilled water is not useful. Why? Because all minerals such as calcium, magnesium, fluoride, etc. are leached out or removed from the water, and when we consume that distilled water which are devoid of minerals will be leached out from the body as well. That's why we are not supposed to consume distilled water, though it is a purest form of the water. What are the uses of distillation? It is used to produce a variety of alcoholic beverages such as whiskey, rum and brandy. When fruit and plant materials fermentate, a dilute version of ethyl alcohol is produced. Distilling the fermented material purifies and concentrates the ethanol, and we get the alcoholic beverages. This is one of the basic uses of distillation. This is all about distillation. You can read the chapter given in your book and understand distillation. Thank you, children.